Welcome to Life Ablaze. So my guides have let me know that today's topic is going to be balance. So let's just get right into it. We are here. We welcome you. We are here to discuss the idea today of balance. We understand that this particular idea has many different definitions in your physical reality, and we are here in support of that idea. We simply want to take the idea a little bit further into our theme of developing and strengthening our relationship with the higher mind. Now, many of you understand this idea of balance. Many of you have a very strong intellectual understanding of this idea, and yet live lives that, by our own definition, would be considered out of balance. And so, in the exploration of this particular idea, what we are wanting to bring forth is not simply the intellectual understanding of this idea, but to put it into practice. Because if you are at a distance from the practice of balance, then it can do you no good. And we are not here in this series of videos to explain to you certain concepts so that you may then set them aside and not take action upon them. And so, if you will, this particular topic today seems to be a bit on the simple side, and yet it is also essentially a test for us to you to see if you're actually taking action on these ideas, or whether they are simply nice sayings that you are listening to and doing nothing about. Now, in order to begin to activate the greater balance between you and your higher mind, it is tantamount, it is paramount to begin to activate this in your physical lives, in and of themselves. In essence, to begin to find ways of bringing balance in as many different ways to your lives. The simplest, of course, being bringing a stronger sense of balance to your physical body. Many of you live lives that are sedentary, that are, in essence, in a fixed position for many of the hours that you go about your day. Perhaps you have long hours in an office, or spend long hours in a vehicle, driving here or there. And perhaps when you get home, you then make yourself comfortable on the couch. And we are not telling you not to engage in these activities. However, none of these activities strengthen your balance. In fact, they actually are detrimental in many ways to your balance, because if it were not for the chair, if it were not for the seat, would you be able to hold that position? More than likely not. At least not for any sustained period of time. And so, if you are spending large amounts of time in a certain position where you are not strengthening your balance, then in essence you are weakening it Or, another way of putting this, you are strengthening your imbalance. And so you may have, again, an intellectual understanding of what that thing called balance is, but if you are not bringing it into your physical lives, into your physical bodies, you are doing yourself a disservice. You're not capitalizing on this very simple idea that yet still seems so distant for many of you in your day-to-day lives. There are many different practices that you can engage in that would strengthen your physical balance. And we would highly recommend you avail yourselves of these beginning as soon as possible. This does not need to be overly strenuous necessarily, but it is likely in the beginning, in your, shall we say, less than balanced state, that developing your sense of balance would feel a bit awkward, would feel a bit as if it is a bit uncomfortable, because you are strengthening muscles in places that you are not accustomed to doing so. But as you strengthen these, then it becomes more commonplace for you. Your balance, and this includes your posture, is critical in terms of your own personal physical alignment. If you have, for instance, a sprained foot, that simple imbalance, though it may be minimal, can translate all the way up your physical body and throw you completely out of whack, so to speak. And so, in bringing as much as you can your body into greater strength of balance, greater posture, then you can find your own natural state of balance, your own natural alignment. Now, this is, in essence, phase one of coming into greater balance with your higher mind. Because if, before you even begin to approach the idea of coming into greater alignment with your higher mind, you are not even coming into alignment with your own physical body, then what is likely to happen is an extenuation of the imbalance that you have in your own physical body. In the same way that if you had the sprained foot, it would, in essence, trickle up that imbalance throughout your entire body. The same is true for the experiences, the alignments that you may be seeking with your higher mind. Certain practices, such as yoga, are ones that strengthen this idea within you and allow for the natural balance between you and your higher mind to more easily flow through your newly balanced physical body. In essence, your own personal physical alignment in many ways dictates the capacity that you have to align with your higher mind. You cannot be completely out of whack, or even partially out of whack, so to speak, physically, and come into 100% alignment with your higher mind. Because this is illogical. This is not the way that this relationship has been set up. And so, in as much as possible, begin to cultivate this idea of balance in your lives, physically. And that alone will begin to open doorways, will begin to make this transition into greater alignment with your higher self far more easy, far more effortless for you. Because it will simply be, in essence, an energetic, chiropractic alignment. Now, assuming that you are making efforts in this particular direction, you are bringing your physical body into greater balance, greater alignment, and strengthening your own sense of balance. Once you have begun this practice in earnest and maintain this particular practice, then you will find that in your lives there are other ideas, shall we say, from a mental perspective, that you also can begin to bring balance to, that you would no doubt find are currently out of balance in your lives. One of the ways that we wish to point out in this particular context in our 30 Days series, we have offered many tools. And if you were to, for instance, follow your highest excitement through the use of all or some of these tools, and put action into all of these particular things, or some of them, but if you were to do so at the cost of the other areas of your lives, then you would be reaching beyond your own personal state of excitement. Let us put this another way. When you follow your excitement, this is not meant to be a permanent direction for you to be heading in. So let us say you were excited to begin to implement many of the permission slips that we have offered in these videos, and you begin taking action on them, and you follow your excitement in that direction, but then you pause, checking in with yourselves. You begin to let that be the most important thing, in essence, making it a mission, a mental quest that you must complete. And in doing so, other areas of your life become out of balance. So this is the idea that we wish to bring forth to you, that even in making use of the permission slips and the concepts that we are offering here, or any places that you may find elsewhere, to be certain that you are choosing to pause and give balance to the other areas of your lives. Because even nature has cycles. Even your breath has inhalations and exhalations. There are expansions and there are contractions. These are part of the natural order of things. And that is a very strong indication of how you can bring balance to all of these areas of your lives. it is also one of the areas that is primarily focused upon in the physical practice of yoga. The breath can guide you into knowing when to take a break, when to shift your energy to something else. Even if your excitement led you into a particular activity, it does not mean that you need to continue with that activity until it is complete. You can take a break. You can allow the other areas of your life to be as important. And by doing so, you give strength to all of these areas. You allow yourself to holistically move in the direction that you are wanting to go while maintaining balance as you do. In essence, it is like riding a bicycle. You would not use only one foot to do so. You want to move forward, but you must use both of your feet to do so. One area of your life represented by one foot, another area of your life represented by the other. Allow this to be a guideline for you as you move forward in your lives, and to implement this distant intellectual idea of balance, to feel it in your body, and to allow it to expand from there into your relationships, interpersonally, and with your higher mind. We thank you for this opportunity to speak with you in this way, and we look forward to speaking with you again. Until next time. Thank you so much.